Local 4 News starts now with a breaking news alert.
A series of explosions rocking Macomb County, and now the battle to get a raging industrial fire under control is entering its second hour. Right now, it is unclear exactly what is fueling the flames, but right now we still have fireballs being hurled into the air as this huge plume of smoke and ash fill the air, and the debris is falling all around the area.
And this is all happening at Select Distributors. It's at 15 Mile Road and Gross Beck in Clinton Township. Concerned viewers have been flooding our newsroom with phone calls since about 9 o'clock tonight.
And that's around the same time we first warned people to stay inside and avoid this dangerous situation. Police and fire not only worried about the flames, but also the repeated and at this hour still unexplained explosions that were coming out of the plant.
Yeah, going on for more than an hour now. Victor Williams and Pamela Osborne are on the scene trying to get a handle on what's happening. Pamela, we'll check in with you in just a moment, but first let's start with Victor. We're hearing there's a 10,000-gallon diesel tank on the property. I've even heard reports there are batteries on the property, which explains maybe the intensity we're seeing from the fire, and police and firefighters trying to get things under control. Victor.
Yeah, Kimberly, we've been hearing the same exact things as well. We know that the crews are putting water on that fire as we speak, trying to knock down those flames as much as they can. But we have no idea what caused this. We still have no idea if anyone was hurt, if anyone was affected, but we know a lot of people have been outside looking on, watching this as it happens in just real time. Now, a lot of people said they may have heard fireworks. Someone described it as a war zone. So a lot of people have been coming out just watching, but police have been telling people to stay inside because of the shrapnel that's being projected from the explosions that happen over and over again. Some people said that they saw the fire starting to spread, but at this point in time, we're not able to tell if that's actually the case. We did speak to someone watching all of this, and here's what he had to say.
I looked to my backside over here toward the Grossbeck area, and it's when I started to realize that the flames were happening. Being an area worker and knowing this particular town, I knew that we are in something serious because of the fact that that area should never have that kind of noise in any way, shape, or form, so something serious. What I observed was that lots of fires were starting to take place. A lot of buildings were seemingly to accelerate the inferno. With the sounds that we were hearing, you can really pretty much see that this is catastrophic.
And those loud bangs have really stopped. It's all starting to calm down, at least from where we are right now. But once again, this is the scene on 15 Mile in Grossbeck, where this explosion is still being investigated as crews work to figure out what started it all to begin with. Victor Williams, Local 4.
Okay, Victor, also on the ground in Clinton Township is Pamela Osborne.
And Pam, you've been talking with some of the residents in that area who've had to take cover from this falling ash and debris.
Yeah, you know, it really is something. I have to tell you, when we first got here, there was this huge black ominous cloud that really just stood out up against the night sky. We are at 15 Mile in Kelly, not too far from where Victor is right now. You can see the cloud of smoke that continues to come off of where that fire is. Now, we spoke to neighbors who said they watched other neighbors put their kids in a car, just drive out of here. And I want to show you something right now. So we talked about the debris, the things that were falling out of the sky. I want you to take a look at the damage here. Again, we are at Kelly and 15 Mile. This is probably about a quarter of a mile from where that fire took place. And it was actually a canister, a heavy metal canister that came through and caused this damage. But first, we want you to take a listen to a little bit of the sound that we've been gathering from people here who have had to take cover, some people who have had to leave their neighborhoods because they're afraid.
Getting louder and louder. And I started seeing some red flames shooting up, and I thought, that's not just fireworks, that's a fire. And then it started subsiding after about 40 minutes or so, and I went back in the house, and then it started up again. It looks like Armageddon. I mean, it was so, the explosion was going so high in the air, I was afraid it was going to start coming on in the neighborhoods. So I still don't really know what building per se it happened at. Yeah. But it seems like it's some sort of, it must be a chemical type of explosion. Yeah. It was too consistent and it was extremely loud. It was like a million firecrackers going off at once.
Well, I went in because the explosions were really extreme and the amount of smoke going through, and I thought there's got to be some bad chemicals in there because that, you know, I didn't know what all was in the canister that Goo was selling. A lot of drug addicts you see picking them up, so that was partially what their big customer base was.
So that you were hearing shoot out and hitting.
They're not.
That's what you were hearing hit the ground.
I mean, did you hear the sound of that? That is what came through this white picket wooden fence here, tore it to pieces. As you heard, the second homeowner that we spoke to, his name is Sam. We're in his backyard right now. He went inside when he saw pieces of metal falling from the sky from those continuous explosions that were just happening over and over again. It seems as though a little bit of the explosions have at least eased up. We haven't heard any in a little bit of time now, but certainly a lot of people concerned, not just about what happened, but about the air quality. So still a lot to figure out here from people who are just really trying to take all of this in. Back to you guys.
And that's exactly why we've been hearing from our emergency officials that people need to stay inside, is because the debris that is traveling, the smoke, the air quality that is not good because we don't know what's burning. But still people, want to be around their neighbors during a time like this and want to see what's going on. I took a call from a lady who said I wanted to come outside because I was scared inside because things were just shaking so much in the house that it felt safer to be outside.
And that demonstration we just saw of basically, we had some people describe it as a war zone. Well, you've got shrapnel leaving from that far away and blasting right through the fence. We had earlier, we were showing you some of the video from our chopper shot. I wish we still had the chopper up. However, the debris is so high in the air at this time, at this hour, we can't have the chopper in the air over the scene. So that's the situation right now. Again, no one knows exactly what it is that is burning in that plant yet. We can't stress that enough. And given the wide range of chemical problems that could suggest, we could have a hazardous material situation here. We just don't know. And that's why everybody is being urged to stay indoors, stay away from that area there at 15 Mile and Groesbeck. Another situation we're going to need to follow is the schools in the area for tomorrow.
That's right.
We have not heard anything yet about any school closings, but we're obviously going to be watching all of that. We're going to continue to monitor the situation even after we're off the air here at 11:35 tonight. Those updates are going to be on the homepage of clickondetroit.com. More breaking news coverage with the latest warnings from police and fire. We've got all the viewer video that we've seen. There's been plenty of that tonight of these explosions, everything that we've learned about select distributors. We also will be back out in Macomb County. We'll be there throughout the night and then into the morning to get a firsthand look at the damage after the sun comes up, and hopefully updates here coming throughout this newscast.
We do have on the phone, I understand, we have County Executive Mark Hackel on the phone. We can ask him some questions. Are you with us?
Yeah, Kimberly, Devin, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Yes, thank you so much for joining us. Tell us what you know so far, kind of bring us up to speed.
Yeah, obviously Victor's out there right on the scene. He's kind of showing you, but what happened starting right around 9 o'clock, they had this explosions that took place, as you just got through mentioning, select distributors, 15 Mile and Groesbeck. Immediately, Clinton Township Police, Fire, EMS responded, trying to figure out what was going on. They understand some type of CO2 or propane explosions were taking place in this facility. And again, it was just a continuous explosions as well as the fire. So it took a while for the fire to actually, the firefighters get in there to try to extinguish the fire because we had to know what was going on to begin with. But with that being said, right now they've got it contained. I think there's 8 different fire departments out there, along with 3 different police agencies trying to cordon off the area. And bigger concern right now is obviously they're taming the fire, but now what's going on with that air quality, the concerns they have in there. We have a hazmat unit that's out trying to test the air quality so we can give further, updates not only through the media but directly to the public as to what's happening. That might be a concern in and around neighborhoods as opposed to directly on scene where the actual fire is now being contained.
Well, such an important element to this. It's finally contained because it looked like it was really difficult to get the upper hand on this. But Mark, you've really, at this hour, we've really gotten, I assume, still have no real indication of exactly what it is that's been burning and what the worries should be for residents in the area.
Yeah, you're right, Devin. It's going to take the fire department some time to figure out exactly what took place here, what is inside the facility. I don't think anybody really knows that yet. We heard from Bob Cannon, the supervisor out there earlier. They're trying to make that determination, but they can't until the fire's out. That's probably the first and foremost concern in making sure people are out of the area. There has been no report of any injuries. That's a blessing in and of itself. But with that being said, there's still concern about what might be of cause or concern with air quality. So they're testing that now, and as soon as we find out a little bit more about that, we'll be putting the warnings out if necessary.
Yeah. Do you have any other message to the residents there of Macomb County? And I know another concern is going to be schools. There are schools in the area, I'm sure, parents wondering about should they send their kids to school. I know you don't make the call about school closings, but just kind of tell us, you have a message for residents, I'm sure.
Yeah, most people don't realize. I mean, when there's an immediate situation like that taking place, it's an active situation. You have your police, fire, and your EMS. Most people see that response happening, but what they don't see is what goes on with emergency management. They have a good team over there in Clinton Township, as well as the county's emergency management, that really come together to try to figure out, okay, what do they need to do? And if it comes to getting utilities shut off, they're working on that while the fire department's responding, while the police are there. So all of that is taking place, as well as what you just got through mentioning, Kimberly, reaching out to the schools to say there's something that's going on in around the area, and other businesses as well as residents. So emergency management is that organization that starts right away once there is some kind of a major event taking place that does all of those things we're talking about. So there is conversations taking place with the schools as they're trying to test this air quality as well.
Last question for you, Mark. We know this is a really busy industrial area. That's not the only plant or manufacturing operation in that area. As far as you know, was it all contained to Select Distributors, or did we have it spread anywhere beyond the footprint of Select?
Yeah, without actually being in the back area, seeing it from the street area, I got to believe there's probably going to be some other, damage to some of the other buildings, but we don't know the extent of that. In Clinton Township, we'll obviously make a better assessment. But I don't think, there's anything spreading at this time. I think the fire department did a pretty good job as soon as the explosions started to tame themselves, getting in there and try to contain the actual fire itself.
Yeah. All right, good deal. Mark Hackel, Macomb County Executive. I know you got a lot on your plate at the moment. Thanks for spending a few minutes with us. Really appreciate it, Mark. Best of luck.
Thanks, Evan. Thanks, Kim.
You bet. All right, Mark Hackel. We'll obviously continue to monitor this situation throughout this newscast here, and even when we're off the air. Updates coming at Click on Detroit, as I mentioned earlier, and make sure that you're following our website, clickondetroit.com.
Yeah, expect more breaking news, too, with the latest warnings from police and fire. We've got the video of the explosions that have been happening all night, everything we've learned about Select Distributors, and we'll also be back out in Macomb County tomorrow morning to get a first-hand look at the damage after, of course, the sun is up. We can see more and hopefully have more information. Stay with us. More to come when we come back.